Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be repotting all my begonia, even though we are in the middle of winter, but it is, well, it was a nice sunny day, which is what got me inspired, but I think it might rain, so we may be on a bit of a time crunch, but I am going to repot all my begonia. They definitely need a repot. Some of them are looking a little bit sadder than others, but you know, it is that time of year and yeah, they just need a little bit of TLC. So that is what we're going to do in today's video. Sorry if I sound a little bit nasally or I cough or I sniff. I'm just getting over a lovely winter cold. Also sorry if the lighting is a little bit funny. I'm in my shop just in case it does rain. But anyway, let's start off with the begonia that I'm going to be repotting. So this is the first one that I'm going to be repotting. This is a Begonia maculata whitei, so it has the beautiful white blooms. But I think this one may have some sort of like fungal infection. I'm not too sure what's going on with the leaves, but they just look a little bit so I'm thinking I might take a cutting of this, and I also might chop all the infected parts of the leaves off, because there is some new growth coming in. But yeah, I think it needs a repot, and I will propagate a bit off it just in case it succumbs to whatever is making its leaves look a little bit naff. This here is also a Begonia maculata, but this one has pink blooms, so it's not a whitei. But yeah, it's got pink blooms, and it is so healthy and large. If I stand back you can sort of see the size of it. Again, I did propagate the top of it a little while ago, so there is 2 plants in this pot, and I think I might do the same. I might chop the top off and propagate that, and then I can eventually plant it back into the pot once it is rooted. But it definitely needs a repot. I'm pretty sure, if I can get it out. Yeah, it is out. The roots are coming out of the bottom of the pot, and it is just full of roots, so definitely time for an upgrade for this one. The next begonia I have is this absolute beast. This is a Begonia silver dragon wing, and it is so pretty. It has got the most gorgeous silver markings to it and a nice dark contrasting leaf. Now the thing with these is that if they get too much light they will sort of fade down and start to look like that, but if you give them lower light they will come back to the beautiful silvery foliage that we all know and love with these ones. I have propagated this plant quite a bit. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants in this pot, and it is only in a very small pot, so this one definitely needs a repot, and it dries out way too quickly as well. Again, I think I might propagate some of these, maybe this bottom one that's sort of hanging out there, to make a bit more of a fuller pot. But yeah, that is the other one that I'm going to be repotting. And I think the last one for this video are these little cuttings of a begonia that I have grown from leaf cuttings, and these are just clusters of plants which I have propagated in sphagnum moss, and I am going to be potting these up for the shop. These have such beautiful coloured foliage and really unique leaf shapes, so these ones are really quite pretty. So yeah, I'm going to be potting all these up as well. So without further ado, let's jump into the repotting. Now hopefully I can get it all done before it starts raining, but here I have a tray of my Wildvine houseplant mix. I find this is the best for growing begonia. I just have some small pots to pot these ones up. So basically just put a little bit of soil in the bottom. It is starting to rain a little bit. Grab my little cluster of plants. Pop all the roots in there. And then basically just fill in and around. I will let these settle and establish before I put them on my website. I don't sort of like to put freshly potted plants up. Now I'm not going to be watering these plants in because they have moss still on their roots, and as you can see they've been dripping, so they've been sitting in water. So these ones I won't be watering in once they're potted. They're just going to go straight into my grow tent to settle in, because they still really are just propagations. I want them to establish their root system into the soil properly. So that is those ones done. Okay, next up is this big guy. Which is extremely dry. There is a little bit of dry rot going on, which is not ideal. But I'm not going to disturb the root system too much because it is winter. I am basically just going to pot it straight in and fill in and around it. I might loosen up the bottom just a little bit. It's hard to tell if these roots are rotten or not. I don't think they are. Pop it in like that, and then just fill in and around. Also, I am by no means a begonia expert. I just pretty much wing it most of the time. I know they do really enjoy this mix because it does retain moisture, but it also has some nice aeration, which they love. And I pretty much got all of these from my begonia friend Tony. She grows the best begonias. I still haven't quite mastered it, but they haven't died on me yet, and they are growing pretty big, so I assume what I'm doing is working. Okay. That looks pretty good. Wonder if I should readjust the plant stake that's in here. So I have these things on my website which help support stems and petioles of plants, and I find them really good for begonia. And I also have a big clear rod in here which I might just move and reposition, and then I can train the stems up how I want them to be. Clip that one in. Clip that one in, clip that one in, and then clip this one up over here, and this bottom one I might just attach to the pole with some Velcro. Okay, that seems to have contained it a bit better. Cool. I think that looks a bit better. It definitely needs a good water. So if you can see in there, that is the stem support holding all the foliage together. And I have a, should still fit in this one. Yeah, it still kind of fits in. I'm going to trim off some of these leaves that are a bit damaged, just because I want this plant to look pretty. So yeah, I'm going to trim off some of these, and it is starting to rain, but I will get on to the next one. Okay, so next up is my Begonia maculata, the one with the pink blooms. It is going from a 10 centimetre to a 12.5 centimetre, and again it has some clear supports in here, so I'll probably reconfigure that, but I'm just going to gently squeeze the pot, pull it out. You don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but it is growing in fern fibre actually, and it has a ton of roots. Again, just going to do the same thing, put a bit of soil in the bottom, place the pot in and fill in around the root ball. Making sure to fill all the air pockets in. I think that's all of them. Again, I might reconfigure this support. Put it maybe a bit further back. Make sure it is well anchored in the pot. And then connect the plant to it. I wonder if I should try and train this one upwards as well. I don't know if I should propagate this or just leave it as is. I might just leave it as is. But again, I'm going to trim off any of these dried crusty ends. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, last one is the sad Begonia maculata whitei. I might actually go and empty the soil elsewhere because I really don't want to contaminate the soil that I'm going to be using, so I'll be back. Okay, it has an okay root system. Again, I really can't tell if it's too dry or not, but I'll pot it up into this 10 centimetre clear pot. Again, I might redo the stake, which is just a bamboo stake, which is what it came with. Okay, that is it potted up, and again I'm going to trim some of its nasty leaves. Should take, actually I might take a cutting of this. Take a top cut. And hopefully it'll reshoot and push out some new growth. Should I take a top cut of that too?
Maybe this one. Maybe that one.
Yeah, maybe I should take a cutting of that one too.
Maybe that won't be enough.
So when you're taking a cutting of a cane begonia, you want to make sure you get a node. If it'll focus, you want to make sure you get a node because that is where the roots are going to grow from. So I have these two cuttings, which I will just root in water, and then that is what we are left with. Not pretty, but hopefully it'll reshoot and regrow and look nice again. It's such a sad sight now, but the Immaculata Whitey lives here in Brody's room. This is where he lives, so I will keep you updated with how this one grows. Hopefully it does okay. If not, hopefully the cuttings do better and I can try again. So this is where the other two begonias live. This is where the beautiful silver dragonwing lives, and then the other begonia Immaculata hides back there, but it does really well. It still gets lots of light. Obviously there is a window right behind it. But yeah, I think they look a lot better and they should be a lot happier and actually grow a lot more now that they have fresh substrate with a lot of nutrients in. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I actually have another begonia that I want to quickly show you. It was a bit of an experiment and I have it growing up here. Now this is a begonia cutting I took. I think this is just the Immaculata, the one with the pink flowers, but I thought I would give a go at growing a begonia in semi-hydro. So this is growing in pon, in a self-watering pot, and as you can see there is a new leaf coming in. And the other day I noticed it has pushed out this little new growth, which is so exciting because I've never grown a begonia in semi-hydro, and I do have sort of troubles with keeping them consistently moist, and I think that was what contributes to the brown tips of the leaves, is the inconsistent watering. So I'm hoping I will have some good luck with growing it in pon, and I'm really excited to see how this one grows and develops. But yeah, so far it is looking really good. I mean, 2 growth points. It's exciting. I will keep you updated with how this one grows, but so far it's been so low maintenance. All I did was take a cutting, rooted it in water, and then I potted it up in here. This may be the new way that I grow begonia in the future if this one turns out really well, because yeah, self-watering is so low maintenance. So as always, all the supplies that I use will be linked down in the description box below. If you are in New Zealand, I do have my own website where I carry all the products that I use, www.wildvine.shop.co.nz. But if you are overseas, I have now set up a Amazon storefront which you can purchase all the sort of same or similar or alternate supplies to what I have. So be sure to check that out in the description box below as well if you are after some of the supplies that I use. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you like more planting content, and I'm always open for video suggestions, so please leave any suggestions in the comments below and I'll be sure to make that kind of content. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!